What's up, Panther Nation? Boy, was the steam hot and drama boiling in our first game back to football. Of course, I'm referring to the man, the myth, the Kelvin. Someone somewhere just killed an innocent buffalo wing. They were killed. Just let it happen. It's like saying Beetlejuice thrice. Yes, the Cam-Kelvin clash reached a tipping point on Thursday when Cam confronted Benji during pregame warmups. But first, let's give you a bit of context. From the day Benjamin was drafted in the first round, Cam more or less took him under his wing. There are even reports that the two were inseparable and that Kelvin mirrored Cam for much of training camp in an effort to learn the way of the Cam. Cam's still learning the way of the Cam. Still a stud though. When Kelvin tore his ACL in what would be the greatest season of Panthers history in a moment of brilliance for Newton, the quarterback was giddy at the prospect of getting his guy back. When the already colossal Kelvin gained 30 pounds in the wake of his mom's passing, Cam went on national television and defended his receiver, saying he would come back even better than ever. And when Kelvin was traded halfway through last season, Cam was emotional.
What's he?
Dun dun dun. Saying that Benjamin was simply irreplaceable and that the only way we would go on was to try and fill his shoes, his canoe-sized shoes. So how'd we get here? Earlier this month, a completely unprovoked Kelvin called out his former quarterback, saying that he's not only sorry he ever came to Carolina, but that if he had any other accurate quarterback, you know, like Josh Allen, his career would be in a different place. But that's not even the end of it. He said that Cam lacked the football knowledge to place the football where it needs to go. My boy straight called him stupid. From the outside looking in, that hits me hard. Kelvin reached a Super Saiyan level of douchebaggery. But of all the people of Panther Nation that were frustrated by the comments, none were more hurt than numero uno. And Cam, who was likely Byron Bell blindsided by the comments, publicly stated that there was nothing but love on his side. That he wouldn't go back and forth with his former go-to guy, but instead, just work. And thus, he went to his friend Benji to try to bury the hatchet. Or really question why there was even a hatchet in the first place. And well, I think you know what happened next. The man wouldn't even shake his hand. I mean, really, look what happened. Cam tried to have a conversation, like adults do, with the receiver he had taken under his wing and subsequently stabbed him in the back. And Kelvin was having none of it. He not only refused to shake his hand or talk to him, he wouldn't even acknowledge his former quarterback. Playing hard to get, eh? Now, I realize Cam could have done a better job of approaching him, instead of getting all up on him and offering an ironic handshake whilst a smile was all up on his face. He could have made it easier for Kelvin to digest. He could have dressed up like a buffalo wing. Would have digested instantly. No, I'm done messing with Benji. But really though, what could you expect? This man was just stabbed in the back by a guy who, if Cam had his way, would still be in Carolina. Just the way Benjamin handled this entire thing just spoke volumes to his maturity. Even if he did have qualms about Cam's accuracy, why state it publicly? Why burn bridges? Especially bridges of those who were actively invested in your success. Life pro tip: don't do that. Even if he does believe Cam was the reason his career hasn't been amazing, it hurts him more than it helps him to actually say it. A text would have sufficed. We're reaching breakup territory. I mean, just look at Panther Nation's Twitter. Just look at them. Crazy stuff. Even so, do wish Kelvin the best. I think his actions speak more to his immaturity than a real place of malice. Cam offered to bury the hatchet and Kelvin refused. It is what it is, but I doubt this whole debacle will have any impact on either team's season. But you know what will? The game actually played on Thursday. You like that segue, huh? I'll be here all week. We took a lot of time in the drama department, so I'll get into one offensive and one defensive takeaway from the game. And boy, were they ripe for the picking. The dichotomy made for an interesting game. And I think I'm gonna get into the good before the bad, so we might as well get into our offensive spotlight. Those receivers. So I think it's safe to say Cam hasn't had much to work with over these last few years. I mean, he did go 15-1 with the likes of Teddy Ginn and Jericho Cotchery. The best he's had in his career was a slightly declining Smitty and he who shall not be named. But the verdict is out. This year's different. We have talent at every level of our receiving core this year, from Devin Funchess and Torrey Smith to DJ Moore and Damiere Byrd. And can we just talk about the former for a second? This guy's the real deal. We talked about why DJ's a stud a few times. I'll leave the links in the description. But the Yak Monster is as advertised. We saw him use his quickness and power to shred through tackles on multiple occasions. Not only leveraging his position to make people miss in open space, but running through them if they don't. At first glance, this guy's gonna be special. And when we talk about new additions that round out our receiving core, we have got to talk about Jarius Wright. Jarius Wright on the verge of balling, that is. This guy put on a clinic against Buffalo. He showcased his trademark route running, but also showed that he himself may have a Yak Monster within him. The veteran from Minnesota was brought in to be a reliable third down slot guy, but in only his first game as a Panther, he looks like he can be so much more. If he holds on to that consistency, throws on a little yak on top, maybe sprinkle in a moss every once in a while, we'll have gotten more than our worth from Wright. I guess you could say we were right on the money. No, you shouldn't say that. You should literally say anything else but that. Okay, I see. All in all, these receivers look as strong as they ever have in the Rivera era. But everything wasn't all sunshine and rainbows in our return to football. I wouldn't tap onto that panic button just yet, but I think it's time to get to our defensive spotlight. Kevon C, more or less. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And when it comes to pass defense, those corners are a perfect example. The quarterback, once he even senses a corner slipping on his routes, will do everything he can to abuse him. His confidence, his quickness, his consistency, he'll make his life a living nightmare. And Kevon Seymour had to wake up from that nightmare. I mean, our pass defense was gasping for air even early on. I noticed it when Kelvin metaphorically slapped our defense with his balls. It hurt on every level, deep in my soul. Why, Kelvin? And it seemed like the culprit was former Bill Kevon Seymour. Maybe he just has a soft spot for his former team. Maybe he was excited for his wife, who would give birth a couple days later. But whatever the reason, I don't think I'm alone when I say Kevon Seymour could be a problem. In a year where we faced 6 Super Bowl quarterbacks, a former MVP, and a Matt Stafford, a subpar corner could potentially derail our entire season. I mean, 2 games makes the difference between 8-8 and 10-6. Playoff success versus mediocrity. And what Kevon showed me is he may not be ready for battle. Mind you, starting cornerback and glue to the Panthers secondary James Bradbury didn't play this game. And he's someone with length that the Panthers can't live without. But just for a second, imagine a nightmare scenario where Bradbury's out the picture. I know. Makes me shudder just thinking about it. I think I may need a new pair of pants. But we need to be prepared, as if the scenario were a reality. Signing new blood corner Alex Carter was a good start, but we are really feeling the loss of veteran Ross Cockrell, and I'm not sure we've addressed it. Here's to me being wrong. I'd gladly take it. Well, that is all we have for you today, Panther Nation. If you like our videos, you know what to do. Hit that like button so we know you like it, and hit that subscribe button so you can like it all over again. And as always, don't forget to answer our question of the day in the comments section. What was your revelation in our first preseason game? What did you learn that you did not already know? Answer away. I'm dying to see what you have to say. I will see your beautiful faces soon. Stay blue, my friends.
Did it in a row like Alja, that's nostalgia.